welcome to Af Responsible. Today we're going to be talking about stolen with awards. Yeah, you're thinking, yeah, there's so many awards that sometimes does not make sense how they come up with criteria on how these people becomes the best tortoise or the fastest tortoise, the fastest snail. How do we come up with this? The 40 under 40, I don't know, 20 under 20, I don't know, all these. The best governor, the best banker, how do they come up with this? Well, if I needed to steal your business ideas, if you were my competition and I needed to have what you call business espionage to figure out how you do your business, how you're making it, I would create an award, the best boutique in town, the best bank in Africa, the best governor in sub-Saharan Africa, to be able to get information from you. And yes, some of these awards requires you to submit certain information. So if you're a business, you submit your income statement, your balance sheets, because we were bewitched when we were little in kindergarten and in class 1 and throughout especially millennials and part of Gen Z, where being number 1, number 2, number 3 was a thing. And that culture makes us think that when we see trophies, when we are being given trophies, somehow somebody is recognizing, even when we were number 1 and we had not even gotten 50%. Have you ever been number 1 and you had not gotten 70% of the marks? Yeah, but you went bragging around that you were number 1. That is our psychology. And it's such a strong psychology. The middle class, if you go to most of the places we're taking our kids to school, because they understand our psychology, the first thing that you're going to meet when you walk into that lobby is the trophies. And the trophies in your mind, they tells you that this school has excelled in what? Nobody tells you what it is. It's just simply that we see trophies and in our brain we think excellence. That's how we get captured. So if I needed to get to know your business and how you do your business, there are several things I will do. I will create an award where I am going to say, send you a very executive letter to tell you that we are considering you for an award because we think you're being very influential in this country and we want to recognize you. And you never stop to ask, who are you? Like, who placed you in that place where you're the one who decide who is the best in this land, who is the best in this industry? But we run, because remember our psychology of the best and the trophies are our psychology. Should I say our self-esteem? Is it low? Is it so high? Let me know on the comment whether we're dealing with low self-esteem or high self-esteem. But the trophies have this mindset in this idea in us that we're being recognized. So you will send your information, and at that point when you're sending your financial information for me to determine how successful, like who do we rate, I'm gathering information. It's business espionage. I am creating competition by gathering all this information that is private information. But I've made it public because now you're sharing. As we've told you, no, we're not going to share it with anybody. No, we did not need to share it with anybody because we are consuming for ourselves. So we can start a competition with you. And that competition is not going to start right away. You're not going to see any connection between the information you gave us, or probably going to delay probably a year or 2 as we are studying this information to know how you do business, how much money you have, what is your competition, does your balance sheet looks like, and what are your cash flows looking like. And you can be able to get that information from these documents you're submitting, so we can consider you for an award. The best banker, the best bank, the best petrol station. I don't know whether there is anything like that. But there are crazy amount of awards that we are seeing out there that do not make sense. It is a tool of gathering people, of accessing people that you do not have an access to. The same way if I needed to do a tender for a company, yeah, it is that I want to get in touch with the CEO. I will create the best CEO in the country. Yeah, and I will make sure I invite the people that I want to do tenders for, Yeah, because that's how I'm going to physically meet. These are very hard people to meet. These are very hard people to get audience with. But if I create an award, first it puts me on a pedestal that is higher than yours. You're the CEO, but I'm trying to do business with you. Or I want, but it's not gonna be directly. You will never know it's me who wanted to do business with you. No, I will introduce you to, I will make sure on my table I have people who are doing business for me, and I will make sure you meet, because we are trying to sell the ideas to you directly. But this idea, the cost of doing business was creating this award for you to be able to come to where we are. And you're coming in a place where you're lower than us, because we are giving you gifts. Who is higher? The one who is giving awards, or the person who is receiving awards? Who is it? The person who is rating, or the person who is being rated? So the power play. So you come there when you're already placed in a space where you are less powerful. And so you're going to give tenders, you're going to give linkages, you're going to give contacts because of awards. That's our psychology. And it goes more than that. There are so many things that are done out there. Sometimes it is people in front of cameras. They will give, yes, they will be calling you like, yeah, we would like to interview you, and you're going to show up in that media house. But there are people who are given questions to ask you about the business you're doing, and you will not realize that's an award. You've been awarded a space to speak about your business, but you don't realize on the other end, this interviewer basically is interrogating you about how you're doing business so they can be able to match your competition. They can be able to compete with you. They can be able to figure out what is your competitive edge. And we get excited when we get in front of cameras. Yeah, am I excited being in front of the camera? Yeah, but I choose to give this information for free. But there are people who will be on media houses, on interviews in front of cameras, and they think it is my moment to shine. And they will spill everything because it's an award. Being in front of that camera, the stage has awarded them a space to shine. And the psychologists, these business espionage strategies, they know that, and they will give questions to the person interviewing you, and before you know, you've spilled the beans on your competitive advantage, things that should have been secret. And don't tell me, yes, people are not that dumb, they can see it. Yeah, I have seen it. I see those TV screens, and I see what is being asked, and I see what is being answered, and I can tell, yeah, somebody got cornered in that space and they have no idea. It's the same thing with people who will go to give keynote speeches in cities, the best cities in this world. But what they don't realize, yeah, you will call them the best bankers, and they're going to be told, yeah, you're going to give the keynote speech. And what is happening? It is in that keynote speech, there are people who are sitting down trying to figure out how you do business and how we can take you over, and you're going to tell us in that keynote speech. Because we will have prepared you some pointers on the things that we are looking for. But then, oh, you went to Taipei, you went to New York, and yes, we put you in a presidential suit because we needed to get specific information. And please don't tell me, yes, people are not that dumb. They are not. But they don't realize when we are presented with awards, whether that's keynote speeches, or it's interviews, or it's awards that describes the best of the snail, the fastest snail, or the fastest turtle. That is always to be able to get access. And unless we wake up on a daily basis, there is business espionage that is taking place where we're presenting information that is private, to be able to get an acknowledgement. So if you do not self-acknowledge on yourself, that no matter whether people pat you at the back or they acknowledge you or give you awards, you still did what you were supposed to do. Nobody need to rate you number 1, number 2, number 3 for you to know that you're making it. That's how our businesses are being taken over. That's how our competition is being killed. That's how our businesses are being sabotaged when we are rushing to get ourselves awards that actually means nothing. Like means nothing. Like nobody cares, right? So hopefully that helps somebody out there to be able to be careful when they are being approached by indirectly to spill their business strategies or to spill their business secrets, that they will always be alert when it comes to awards. That's how you access people. I've written that in 5 fingers, so there is more information I've provided on how we have our wealth and ourselves stolen with awards. You can look at it. It's at Nuria, and I've written other books: 5 Fingers, Money Circles, Dollar Altar, President Advisor. All these books are available at Nuria. And if you're abroad, you can get that from Amazon or Lulu.com. Amazon is very not good for others. But anyway, if you have to get it from Amazon, you can get it from Amazon. My name is Robert. This is Responsible Africans Being Responsible. Thank you and have a good day.